Greetings, Macadine family and listening audience. Camille Shabazz here with another one for you on this Friday the 13th. And I'm going to go right into my subject dealing with the necessity of a personal knowledge of yourself. In this day and time, and actually for at least the past 100 years, you have had these pseudoscientists, pseudo-scholars, who I refer to as race baiters, who come in all different races: black, white, Chinese, Mexican. And what they do is they give a relatively blanket history of their people, telling you about the great things, a lot of them exaggerated and some true, that their people have done in the past. And this knowledge of the group, of the collective, is taken by the individual as though it's the truth for his life. And that's not necessarily the truth. Because every individual, like every raindrop, every snowflake, there's no two that are the same. No two that are identical. So when you attempt to put a blanket over all individuals who, like that snowflake and like that raindrop, no two are the same, you're making a grave mistake. Because the individuality of the person must be taken into consideration. Because there's none like you, and there will never be another like you as the individual. So a personal knowledge of self is of vital importance if you and I are to reach our highest peak. You must delve into knowing yourself as an individual. How do you do that? I'll get to that in a minute. But having that knowledge of self is what safeguards you from being, number one, gaslighted, gaslit, or gassed up. And you know, men generally are gaslit by their women all the time. And a lot of times, most of the times, don't even know it. And they know that they're gaslighting you, which is to make you think that what you're seeing is either not real or real. But it's in their hands to determine how you view reality. Because going back to what I'm talking about, you don't have a personal knowledge of yourself. See, when you know yourself from a personal standpoint, you know your weaknesses and you know your strengths. And can't nobody tell you who you are and what you can do better than what you can. You know your potential. Yes, your potential says you can do anything. However, when you're in reality, can't no woman gas you up to make you think that you're Superman and that you can take on her ex-boyfriend or take on 10 other men because of her. See? Or she can't make you think that it's raining outside when you see the sunlight for yourself. So a personal knowledge of yourself, which means you have to look squarely at yourself in the mirror and critique yourself greater than anyone else can ever do. I know I'm getting kind of tongue-tied, but I'm just trying to get to this subject, and I don't do no editing. So what you see and what you hear is what you get. But a personal knowledge of self is of a critical importance. You must have a personal knowledge of yourself. You must go in the closet, so to speak. Spend time alone with yourself. Ask yourself the most powerful, most personal questions. And then ask yourself this question. If you were a woman, would you date you? If you were a man, would you befriend you? Most people don't like how they sound when they hear themselves on a tape, or the way they look when they take a picture. Most people really genuinely do not like themselves, and that's because we don't spend enough time with ourselves. And it's also because of the secrets that we possess about ourselves that we are ashamed of and really haven't forgiven ourselves for. So until you can forgive yourself for the sins you have committed towards yourself, much less towards others, we will never be on the path of self-love, self-acceptance, and evolution. So a knowledge of self, once again, is of vital, critical importance. And it's something that we should be striving for every day, in every kind of possible way. More later, and peace.